And we remember that the greatest thing we can ever do to get someone to where they need to be is through love. In fact, Jesus put it very clearly, Luke 6:32, if you love those who love you, what credit is that to you? Notice this, for even sinners love those who love them. Now, I usually have thought about this verse in relation to the first part. It's easy to love those who love you, duh, right? But then I thought about the second. He's giving us a clue. Even sinners love those who love them. Sinners love those. Sinners love those who love them. So at times when we're angry at someone, it's because they've sinned against us. How can we help them? Sinners love those who love them. It makes it easy for them to take a step towards what God has for them when we show them love despite the fact that they have chosen to sin. How do we get to that empathy for them? I believe it starts with empathy towards ourselves. I really do. Obviously, we can love ourselves too much, right? We can fall into the narcissism. We can fall into I'm obsessed with self-obsession. But I think a lot of us, we have a different issue. And that's that we don't show kindness. We don't show love to ourselves. And we don't realize at times that there's a root underneath the fruit of our own bad behavior. And when we can have kindness and see our own selves through the lens of someone that God loves, someone who's been damaged, someone who's made bad decisions, and when we start with sympathy towards ourselves, we can get to a place where we're more easily capable of showing love to those who have sinned against us. What I'm trying to get you to see, and this is just for me, maybe you have a different story, is that I often treat people that I should be loving, but instead I'm being unkind to in the way I feel about me. Oftentimes, I'm cruel to others, but it's because I'm unhappy with myself. And I'm disappointed in myself. I'm frustrated with me, and so I'm lashing out at you. And sometimes I'm hoping that you'll treat me because of how I treat you as bad as I feel about me. And so when we start to ask the question, what's under our bad behavior? What's the sin under the sin? What's the emptiness here we're trying to fill? What's the thrashing about that we're doing because of the insecurity inside we're harboring? And we start to have empathy on ourselves and kindness and then medicate that with the love of God and not with anything else that will never work, that will just numb it for a moment, but then it'll come back with a vengeance. Right? Like it's easy when I get a canker sore, like to answer this person's question. I have had canker sores my whole life. Anybody else have canker sores? That's terrible, right? It's easy just to grab Canka, which is a numbing antiseptic. All it does is not antiseptic. It's just a numbing agent. Just numbs it for a minute. It basically tells your brain to ignore the problem for a minute. That doesn't help it, though. You know what helps it? Listerine. But you know what that feels like? Not great, right? That which actually will help it feels horrible. That which does nothing to treat it feels wonderful. Just takes the pain away for a minute. So when we start to move towards empathy towards ourselves and realize when we make the mistake of treating other people badly, oftentimes it's because of something we're wrestling with in here. And then we can jump to the leap of, well, that's probably true in their situation as well. What's underneath this that's causing them to be an enemy to me?